what we found was that millennials don't necessarily care that much about living in an urban area. What they care deeply about is living in a community that is dense, that is walkable, that is very attractive, that also has access, many, not all, but what we found from a lot of the research that we did, they're very focused on the outdoors. They're very focused on their connection with sports and outdoor activities. And when you think about what we have in North Georgia, the potential is absolutely there to be attractive for that part and very important part of our workforce. But the reality is, every announcement, major announcement that we have seen in all of North Georgia about technology jobs is based on where their workforce is willing to live. So I can tell you what we are doing in Forsyth County, and I hope certainly that the rest of the region is talking about this and doing this too, and that is doing everything that we can to encourage that kind of development. Many of you may have been to Avalon along Georgia 400, very high-end live, work, play community. We just last night at Forsyth County Planning Commission, we had a very similar development to that is a live, work, play development. And we're certainly banging the drum as loud as we can, both with the development community and the planning community, to be able to help support that. The developers absolutely are building their future on the idea that it will be largely millennials that will be living in that development. That is certainly true of what's going on already at Avalon. And by the way, the rental price at Avalon for a 2-bedroom apartment starts at $2,500 a month. So these are folks that have money. We certainly would love for them to be spending it in our region. So with that, one thing that I would end is just a request of all of you. There's a lot of talent. There is a lot of resource in this room, and there's a lot of treasure in this room. And I would ask that you please take the time to think about how you can use those resources that you bring to the table to really help us be as competitive as we can possibly be in the future. At the end of the day, it's truly all about the workforce and folks. What's exciting to me about that is that also that becomes a tide that will lift all boats. And a lot of opportunity, a lot of entrepreneurs come out of a better workforce, and we're excited about that too. Thank you for your time. Thank you for having me.
If we could get our speakers to come up, we have some time for some questions, and I have some prepared questions. So if you will take a seat, don't throw them off the stage.
You should probably sit on the edge.
First, give them all a big hand. I have a couple of questions, and then I have I have a mic that'll go out in the audience, and we'll invite your questions as well. If you don't mind, I have an inquiring mind. Lynn Jackson, is there a break point for healthcare economics?
Well, it depends on if you're on the payer side, or if you're on the need for health care. I mean, I think that the break point comes in when you try to make a decision on behalf of a patient and their expenses. You know, you begin to think, well, how much is too much? And I guess that's in the eye of the beholder. A lot of people want mercy for themselves and justice for others. We're not willing to pay a lot for someone else's health care, but we're happy to pay a lot for our, or have a lot provided to us. So I guess it's a matter of whose health care you're talking about.
For Eugene,